Before we get started, could you give us a brief background on who you are?
Yeah. Um, First off, thanks for for that introduction. It was really nice. But no, I'm Robert Robert Smoot. I don't know if I can put my last name on there, but so yeah, basically, I'm 31 years old. And after a certain amount of time, you kind of forget how old you are. Once you hit past 30. But yeah, 30 years old. Went to school in North Carolina A&T. Graduated 2014. And I work at Cummins now full time, 9 to 5. But from 5 till bedtime, I'm researching on, moving towards financial independence. That's pretty much how my day goes. You work, go to the gym, and then you look into potential investments.
Nice, nice. So I'm sure most of us can relate to that, myself included. So Tesla, could you take us back to the beginning? Like, at what point were you convinced that Tesla was going to play a huge role in this new world we're going to transition into?
Yeah, back to the beginning. Wow. You said that I was one of the early investors in Tesla. I'll have to say that's not accurate. I didn't get in on Tesla until 2019. So the OG guys who started back at their IPO, those are the ones who saw the future of Tesla from the beginning. I just kind of got in on the back end. And for me, originally, I was all about finding financial independence and kind of removing myself from that paycheck life. I know when I first started my working career, we were never taught that, hey, when you get this cash, you're supposed to save it, invest it, and use that to build towards a future. Yes, they say get a retirement, but that's mostly passive investing, and you're not really actively managing, what investments you choose. So for myself, it was like, hey, you got your little retirement, and the leftover money would just go towards, whatever caught my eye. And something hit me. I don't want to get into details too much on that, but something hit where I was like, whoa, this is not the way to go. I should not have to rely on a single source of my income. I need to find out what I can do to step away from that point. So, as any new investor, you start off with what you know. I did just saving my monthly checks and a certain percentage, put that into savings. After so many years of savings, you see it build up and say, hey, I got a little bit of cash. What's next? Well, then you start in real estate, because that's just the natural path of what normal people or what most people are told. And I followed down that path.
Sure.
And it wasn't until July of 2019 when I first heard about Tesla as an investment opportunity. I learned it from Rich Rebuilds. He did a podcast with Joe Rogan. And
nice.
He was just talking about, the good things about the company and also the bad. There were some bad, but if you look past all the superficial things and you look at the company fundamental wise, they've got, I guess they've got a good leader and they're moving in the right direction.
They do.
And after a while, you start to go into like, hey, what else can I learn about this company? And, it just starts to open up from there. And that's where you wake up and most of your savings is into Tesla.
So Tesla as a company and as a stock. So this is a two-part question right now. So what is the company doing? What is the business doing right now? And also, what is the stock doing?
Right now, the company's biggest objective is to convert the world to sustainable energy.
Yep.
And their first step forward for that is to move the automotive space. If you have automotive transportation that is sustainable, then you can move that to, say, your shipping, say, energy consumption, and everything will just fall in place from there. And you said as a company, that's pretty much what their goal is. Hey, how can we get renewable energy? How can we use renewable resources to fuel our travel, so to speak? So that's what they're doing fundamentally. And everything else, when you kind of peel back layers and you'll see, okay, so in order to do that, you have to have this kind of execution, or you have to do these type of things, and they just go down the list. What was your next point?
The stock. Same question, but about the stock.
The stock it's different. And in all honesty, I'm not too concerned with what the stock is doing today. Now, if it drops, if there's a large dip, then yeah, it's a buying opportunity. But for me, it's always been how this company will perform, and the stock will reflect that 5 to 10 years from now. And it's because if you're concerned with what the stock is doing today, you're not an investor. You're a gambler. And it's okay, and that's okay. If you want to gamble, perfectly fine. Enjoy it, but don't say that you're an investor. And another thing with the stock today is a lot of people don't understand what it is. Like if you were to go and ask a regular person on the streets, you say, "Hey, what is Tesla to you?" They'll say, "Well, it's a luxury manufacturer. They only build fast cars, shiny cars, and things like that." And so they don't understand it. So when they look at Tesla and they say, "Oh, this company builds cars," and last year they built 500,000. It's like, wait a minute. Other car companies are building that in a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
It's not correlating. It's not adding up to me. So I'm going to stay away from it. And traditionally, it's perfectly fine. However, for this company, I urge you to do your research on it, spend some time and look into the company and figure out what exactly they're doing. And once you do that, you'll understand that the stock is not valued the way it should be.
Mm-hmm.
And over time, that will come to, I guess it'll reflect that appropriate valuation.